Hi, I'm Dan Ray with IT Security Europe, here with Phil Lieberman from Lieberman Software.
Okay. That would be me.
That's you. Phil, one of the big stories this week was the Microsoft, the new Trustworthy Computing report, I think came out this week, the Security Intelligence report.
That's right.
And one of the stories about, of course, XP, support ends in 6 months, and they're trying to say everyone upgrades to Windows 8 right now. Is one of the problems that Windows 8 is inherently insecure? What is the situation with that?
Well, so, one of the things that they were talking about in the Trustworthy Computing article was the fact that they want people off of XP in April. But a lot of people who have XP might have the impression that if they don't get onto a new platform, Windows 7 or Windows 8, that inherently Windows XP is not going to be secure for them. Mm-hmm. But the fact of the matter is that Windows XP is like one of these buildings that is kind of run down, dilapidated, but people are still living in there, and the question is, can they still continue to live within the XP environment? Is it still secure? And the answer is, it really depends. And so the funny part about this is that if you go to your doctor's office, or if you go to all kinds of places, I mean, even here at the hotel where we're doing this event today, in the business center, they're running XP. But the question is it secure? Is it insecure? And the answer is, well, maybe a little bit of both. In April, there certainly won't be any patches available according to Microsoft, but maybe there will, who knows? Yeah. But the point is that if you're running at XP in a controlled environment that, let's say, doesn't have any internet connectivity, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it if you're using it for an embedded system. Also good. The other thing, too, is you can also firewall it in and turn off internet access to those XP machines by setting up like a little network that is effectively isolated from the outside, but still can do the work that you need to do within the environment itself. So the fact is that if the machines are not subject to malware, or not subject to antivirus, you're not receiving email on them, and you're just using them for line of business, they're absolutely great. There's really no reason that you have to discontinue using XP. And I mean, why break what's already working?
I think that's absolutely the case. I think there's nothing actually wrong with the system. So Microsoft, everybody wants them, they want people to move up to a newer system because there's better updates, better functionality. But we're talking about large enterprises and maybe 100,000 all running XP. That's one heck of an upgrade system, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Listen, when they transitioned from XP to Vista, I mean, a lot of people didn't necessarily enjoy the Vista experience with all the UAC pop-ups and all the rest of the things that you would run into over there. But the fact of the matter is that Vista was a new kernel. It was a new design of a more secure operating system. Mm-hmm. And in fact, as we went from Vista to Windows 7 to Windows 8, the operating systems have gotten progressively better in this terms of the surface area and their resilience against malware and against viruses. So there have been significant improvements. Plus, look, I mean, Microsoft is now maintaining patches on Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8. Probably don't want to do it on XP any longer. And I understand their position on it because it's an old platform. It wasn't designed as much for security as the modern platforms are. And I mean, even things like the the TPM modules. You look at the new Windows 8 machines that have things like secure boot, which keeps the boot up sequence from being infected. There's new hardware, there's new software architectures, better versions of BitLocker that use these TPM modules. So there are some amazing introductions of new hardware, and the new software in the operating system do make them more secure. So XP doesn't have to go away, but you're absolutely right. TWC, Trustworthy Computing at Microsoft, made a good point, which is the new operating systems are so much more secure, so much easier to keep secure. And I've made the statement in the press a few times that maybe you can get by without antivirus and anti-malware. Right. I'd kind of like take that back a little bit. I think you still need something on them, even with the most modern. But they're getting harder and harder to break into. And I think that's a good progression.
Okay, it's an interesting point. Phil Lieberman, thank you very much.
My pleasure.